Good morning, friends. Welcome back to another day at Walt Disney World. I decided to let myself rest a little bit because I think this is going to be the only day that I can actually sleep past like 6 a.m. and I'm going to bed pretty late too. So I didn't set an alarm and that was really nice. I still woke up around 7, but I didn't rush it. It's actually just coming up to 11 now. So I took a total of 4 hours to get ready, which is pretty ridiculous. But I enjoyed myself. I had some coffee, I tidied up the room a little bit, watched some TV, and it was a really nice chill start to my day. I'm getting really hungry right now, and I kind of went back and forth because I wasn't sure what I was going to do today. My plans had to change a little bit, which is why it's also important to be flexible when you're on your vacation, because not everything's always going to go to plan, and that is okay, and it is still possible to have a really awesome time. So I had to adjust my plans for today. I was originally going to go to Universal, so I didn't make any plans at Disney World. I'm going to do Disney World today, and I was going back and forth between Magic Kingdom and Epcot because I've already spent a little bit of time at Epcot, but also a little bit of time at Magic Kingdom as well. And ultimately, I'm feeling super drawn to Epcot today. I'm getting hungry, so I thought maybe we'd check out more of the Flower and Garden Festival food booths. Also, I didn't really do any rides last time, so I definitely want to go on like Living with the Land and Spaceship Earth, maybe say hi to Figment. I don't know. I'm just excited to get back there. I'm going to take my time. I'm going to spend some time in the pavilions as well. I want to do some of the shows. I don't know how long I'm going to stay there today. I do have an early start tomorrow, but I don't have any time to waste. It's already 11, so let's get going.
Feet and legs inside the vehicle, and please watch your children.
Unfortunately access, but it also brings with it the dawn of
First up today, I stopped by Epcot's Farmer's Feast for the Flower and Garden Festival, and I grabbed myself the Hibiscus Lemonade Cocktail. It features Isla Morada Brewery and Distillery Hibiscus Gin, and it looks like they kind of made like a little figment out of maybe a lychee. I'm not sure. Sorry for the shadow. The colors are so pretty. It has like a purple, then it goes to white, and then red at the bottom. So I did grab a straw because I'm sure it needs to be mixed up, but I think this is one of the prettiest cocktails that I've seen. I'm really excited to try that. And then I also decided to do the garden walk. So I got the grilled street corn on the cob. It has a savory garlic spread and plant-based cheese on top. So I got my stamp in my book, first one of the trip. There, you just got to make sure you give them your like passport, and they'll put a little stamp there. And then once you get all 6, you get a special treat. I think at the Pineapple Promenade, it's a type of Dole Whip that you'll get that you can only get if you complete this challenge. So let's see how this tastes. So I had to stop eating the corn because when I looked up, they don't put the allergy information in the booklet, but you can actually search like Flower and Garden Festival allergy, and then you can find the allergy menu online. And it does not say that it's safe for tree nut allergies. So I'm guessing the Parmesan, the plant-based Parmesan, is like a cashew base. I took Benadryl just to be safe. We'll see how that goes, but I can't eat the corn anymore. The cocktail was actually really, really good though. One thing to note though, in the allergy menus for the food items, they don't list allergy items for drinks. And if you have a tree nut allergy, a lot of liquors can sometimes have tree nuts in them, so you might have to do your own research. That's what I did for the Hibiscus Gin. I looked up the brewery and made sure that it didn't have any almonds in it, and I'm good to go. A lot of gins do have almonds in them. So I'm gonna head over to the next spot, the brunch place or something like that, and they have an avocado toast that I'm excited to try. But yeah, let's get going. This beautiful avocado toast features marinated tomatoes, watermelon radish slices, and edible flowers. I was quite surprised at the serving size. This is almost a full meal. Overall, it is very fresh and tasty, but I would have preferred more of a punch of flavor. I think it would have been a 10 for me if it had like a splash of lemon juice or maybe even some chili flakes. Next up, also from Brunchcott, I decided to try the biscuit and gravy. I was so excited to learn that the biscuit and gravy dish was made with Impossible chicken fried steak and Impossible sausage gravy.
because that meant I got to try it. However, after a few bites, I do not love this dish. Mine was a bit on the cold side and I found it overly salty. It was not for me. I only ended up having 2 bites. I have been standing in the sun for far too long, so I went over to the Citrus Blossom booth, which is inside the Odyssey building. This is a great place to cool off, and it also offers up some yummy treats. I grabbed the key lime wine slush, and I'm surprised at how much I like this. It's super refreshing and the perfect balance of sweet and tart. It's also time for dessert, and I couldn't pass up the lemon meringue pie. There's nothing too special going on here, but it's pretty good. I really like the presentation, and both the meringue and lemon filling were tasty, but I would have preferred more of a lemon to balance out the flavors.
Next up we have trowel and trellis. That is really hard to say. Also, I've had 3 drinks, so that could be it. I decided to grab the Impossible Farmhouse meatball with lentil spread, spinach, marinated vegetables, and a creamy herb aioli. It has kind of like a falafel smell. Looking forward to trying it. This is on the garden graze as well, so I got a 3rd stamp in my book. For dessert, I grabbed the chocolate mousse terranium with matcha crumble and chocolate soil. It's really pretty presentation. For my beverage, and I really should swap over to water for a bit after this one, I went with a 5-ounce pour of the Brew Hub Strawberry Heatwave Berliner, I can't remember how it's pronounced, but it's pretty tasty, really refreshing. I'm not getting a huge strawberry taste, but I do like this one. I like that they offer like a 4-ounce or 5-ounce pour as well, because I don't always want a big beer when I'm trying to drink a lot of different things.
Perhaps it's a medical speed.
So I stopped by the Lotus House in China to pick up the vegetable dumplings. I'm really excited that they have vegetable dumplings this season. I think last time during the festival, Food and Wine Festival, there wasn't anything that I could really eat. So I'm excited to tuck into these. It's interesting to see how different the portion sizes are. For the most part, I feel like the portion sizes have been huge. This one is definitely on the smaller side. I also picked up their peach cocktail. So this is the Lucky Peach. It's made with peach whiskey, oolong tea, honey, lemon juice, and soda water. I think after this, I'm gonna need some serious caffeine. But we're just waiting for our Lightning Lane at Frozen Ever After before moving on. It's in about 45 minutes. So I'm gonna try to waste some time in China and Norway. Okay, so the vegetable dumplings are my favorite savory dish so far at Flower and Garden. They were so good. I wish it was a bigger serving, but what I will say is that while this was a smaller serving than the other booths, the nice thing is that I found that most of the booths were actually, the serving sizes were so big I couldn't really finish them, especially if you're trying to eat multiple items at the festival. But those dumplings were delicious. I definitely will get them again before I leave this vacation. And then as for the peach tea, or peach tea cocktail, I was expecting it to be a bit more refreshing. It's not very sweet at all, so if you don't want a sweet cocktail, you might enjoy this one. The tea is heavy on this, so it's definitely more tea forward than peach. Very slight peach flavor in the background. It's pretty good though. Not my favorite cocktail so far. but like I think it's an interesting one, which is why I want to try it. And it looks like there might be rain coming soon. It rained earlier today. I was hoping it was kind of done. It's cooled off a lot, which is nice because it was really hot in the sun earlier. There's like no sun left. These clouds rolled in while I was in the reflections of China. So I think what I'm going to do, because I don't want to get too soaked, so I have dinner plans, is I might make my way over there, straight ahead to the American Pavilion. I haven't seen the Great American Venture, I think that's what it's called, in over 10 years. And that might be a nice place to sit down for a bit because I have not sat down since I got here. And then this way, if it does rain, hopefully I'll be out of it until it passes over. So I have my camera tucked away. It's not pouring, but it's raining pretty heavy. And I'm on my way to Yacht Club. I booked a last minute reservation at the Ale and Compass, so I'm gonna go grab some food there before heading back to the resort. I'm glad it's raining because it was really hot earlier, but I also have my camera in my bag and I'm a little worried about that. Glad I brought my raincoat. Looking forward to getting inside and trying a new restaurant out. All right, so we're gonna walk in on the Beach Club side. I'm pretty sure it connects over to Yacht Club. I'd really like to stay here one day using our points. Really cute resort.
Caramelized onions and arugula pistachio pesto for $29 a seating. Same mahi will also be featured in the
So this was my first time dining at Ale and Compass. It's a place that I've always wanted to check out, and I'm really glad I took the time to do so today. I will say that like the service felt a little slow to start, and I think it's because I was seated just at opening time, and I just feel like it was a little chaotic. But as my meal went on, everything kind of ironed itself out. Service was really great. The waitress I had was super wonderful, very sweet. Enjoyed talking to her, which is always nice when you're traveling by yourself. I tried the cauliflower appetizer. I expected it to be like breaded and fried, and I was actually quite pleased that it wasn't breaded. I didn't want anything too heavy, and it had like a spicy sauce, but I don't really like super spicy food, and I didn't find this bad at all. The flavor was really good. It wasn't like a buildable heat. It never really got worse than it did, like how it started, and it had like a blue cheese sauce on it, which kind of balanced out the spice. I really liked it. I would definitely get that again. The first drink I had was the Big Apple. It's kind of like a twist on a Manhattan. It was on the sweeter side, but it was very good. I definitely enjoyed that one. I would get that drink again. And then for my main, I did the sustainable fish. The fish for the day was mahi-mahi, which I love mahi. And it was grilled and on top of a butternut squash risotto, and had some like Brussels sprouts and I think some onions as well. The first couple bites I had of my food, I was kind of disappointed because I felt like it was under-seasoned. Like I tried the risotto first and there was like almost no flavor there. I tried the vegetables, there was no flavor. But then I kind of felt like the more I went into the meal, the better everything got. Like the juices from the fish kind of flavored the vegetables, it flavored the risotto, and I almost cleaned my plate. I'd say my only complaint was that the fish was a little salty at times, like the crust on it, because they grilled it, they pan-seared it, so it had that nice little crunch to the top, and they maybe used a little bit too much salt, but kind of mixed with everything else, it worked really well because everything else was under-salted. So I'm not complaining. And as far as how it was cooked to perfection. I've had some issues ordering fish at some of the other Walt Disney World restaurants where they're a little rubbery and tough, and that was not the case at Ale and Compass. It was cooked perfectly. I really enjoyed it. I also overheard a waiter telling another table that one of the head chefs from the Grand Floridian had just come over to Ale and Compass and was kind of in the process of reworking the menu and trying to elevate it. So some of the menu items have changed. So if you've eaten there in the past and maybe didn't like it, maybe give it another try because they are working through some of the kinks. And even though I was stuffed, I couldn't pass up the opportunity to have a dessert. They had an apple cobbler on there, and I haven't had apple cobbler in so long. It came out piping hot. It was super fresh. Oh, it smelled so good. Like as soon as they put it in front of me, I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna love this dessert. And it was delicious. I had to force myself to stop eating because I probably could have cleaned the bowl. All in all, amazing meal at Ale and Compass. I loved the ambiance of the restaurant, like the color scheming, the lights. I like that it was like really dimly lit. After like a long day in the parks, I don't like going into super bright restaurants. I like having the dim lighting. It just kind of relaxes me a little bit, and I just find it more soothing while I'm eating. The noise level wasn't bad either, even though there was like lots of families around. I didn't feel like it was like overpowering. Like sometimes like I find Le Cellier really, really loud. I felt Ale and Compass was a little bit more intimate. I think that it'd be a great restaurant for a date night as well. I feel that the Yacht Club is known for Yachtsman Steakhouse, which is delicious. We ate there last time. Rex said it was one of the best steaks he's had, but I personally would go back to the Ale and Compass before I go back to Yachtsman Steakhouse. I felt like there was more things on the menu for me. I felt like it was a little bit more inventive and interesting, and probably better for like a more casual eater as well. They had some really good appetizers and some sides, quite a few desserts to choose from, some great cocktails, and the service was fantastic. I'm actually adding it to one of my top favorite restaurants at Walt Disney World now, and I will definitely be back. So if you have a chance and you're looking to try something a little different, you want to like maybe leave the park and eat at a hotel instead, I was actually able to get a reservation for Ale and Compass this morning. So that's another really great thing, right? Like some of these bigger restaurants, you have to book at those 60-day marks if you want to have a chance to get them. I booked this today, and I hope that you'll all go try it as well. So I started my day pretty late, which I think I already mentioned. I didn't leave the hotel room until close to 11, but I was able to get to Epcot by like 11:30, I think. And I decided that I was hungry, and I really just wanted to spend some time enjoying the Flower and Garden Festival. So that is what I focused on for the day. I wasn't able to finish most of the things I tried. Some of them were quite large portions, like especially the avocado toast. That was almost like a full-size portion to me. And some of the foods were really heavy, and it was more important for me that I got to try a bunch of things rather than just like get full off of one. Also, I have this thing where if I have a lot of the same thing, I get really bored, and I just kind of don't want to eat it anymore. It doesn't mean I'm full, I'm over it, right? So I tried a lot of things today, and I'm really happy that I got to. I made some pretty good progress on the garden crawl. I think I'm about halfway through it now, so I still have a few more items to try. Maybe Nora can help me with them, because I think I'm allergic to one of them. I think it has tree nuts in it, and I can't, and I don't know if you have to have like each of them. So I might have to talk to a cast member, like if I can't eat the things that they need me to eat, maybe they can just give me like a stamp for a duplicate item. So in case you don't know what like the garden crawl is, so you get a little passport. Mine's a little damaged because it was raining on it earlier. And at the back of the passport, it's called the Garden Graze, not the Garden Walk. And then you'll find like these menu items, and these are all the different things that you can sample. You have to sample 6 of them, and each one will get you a stamp. Once you complete that passport and you get all 6 stamps, you bring it back to the Pineapple Promenade, and there's like a special treat that you get. It's a Dole Whip. I think it's always a Dole Whip, but it's a Dole Whip flavor that you can only get if you do the Garden Graze, and it comes in like a little souvenir cup as well. And I've always wanted to it's not always called the Garden Graze. They do them for all the festivals though, and I've always wanted to do one, and I've never been able to eat enough of what's available, and this time I can eat almost everything, which is awesome. So I'm trying to do it this time around. And I just want to highlight again, you have to be very, very careful if you have food allergies while you're doing any of these festivals. The allergy menu is not clearly listed anywhere. There's no allergies, like there's no allergens listed in this passport. The only way that you can really find out if something is safe for the allergy that you have is you should just go online and look up Walt Disney World Flower and Garden Festival allergy menu or Food and Wine Festival allergy menu. And you'll actually get a link to the official Walt Disney World website, and in there will be a link and you can see all the different booths, and in each booth it will list the food, like the menu items, and then what allergies it's safe for underneath that. I will say that it did not list allergens for any of the cocktails, and a lot of the cocktails have tree nut liquors in them that I can't have, so you need to kind of do your own research with those. And in case you didn't know and had to find out the hard way like I did in the past, a lot of gins are actually made with almonds. I know Blue Sapphire, Beefeater, they're both made with almonds. I can't have them, but other gins are as well. So basically what I did today is if I found a cocktail and I'm like, all right, it has gin in it, I researched the gin myself to make sure that it was safe before I ordered it. So just, you might have to do that like extra step if you have some allergies and you want to try some of the cocktails. And if you're still unsure and you want to be really safe, just ask one of the cast members at the register. They actually have a phone number that they can call, and I don't know where this phone call goes to, but I imagine it's like this really cool, high-tech, secretive tower where a guy just sits there with like a binder and confirms whether something contains allergens or not. I know that's not what it is, that's just how I see it in my mind, but I've had to do that in the past where I wasn't sure on something, they called someone else, that person had to find the food item, look in the menu, and then like just check basically every ingredient and confirm whether or not I could have it. It is time consuming, and I have found that some of the cast members don't want to do that if there's like a long line. Which kind of frustrating because it would be nice if they just made the allergy menus easy for us to find. I don't understand why they make it so complicated for the festivals. If you know, because you can basically go into the app or ask for an allergy menu at any of the restaurants, and it's really easy for you to kind of do your own research. But at the festivals, it is very difficult, and you have to go the extra step. And I just don't understand why they don't put like an actual allergy menu out with all the details, making it really easy for guests to find and to be kind of like sure themselves that they can eat something. I ended up not doing all that much at Epcot because I spent so much time eating and drinking, but I did finally get to see the reflections of China. I haven't seen that in so long, so I was glad I took the time to do that. And I will say, like, if it's a hot day out, go see the show in China because there are benches outside the show, so if you're waiting for it to start, you actually get to sit down in air conditioning, and it's really hard to find places to sit at the theme parks, as you may know. So I got to sit down for a little bit, which I desperately needed to do, and then once you're inside the show, it's nice and air conditioned, and it was a really great show. I'm glad that I had time to do that today. And then originally I was actually going to go back towards the front of the park and go on some rides, but it started to rain, and I checked the radar and I was like, okay, I think it's going to rain for a while. And since I had my gear with me, my camera, I didn't really want to be stuck out in the rain. So I made my way to the American Pavilion, and I finally got to see the Great American Adventure. I haven't seen that in about 10 years, so I was so excited to sit down and watch it. I really like the show. I think, you know, it's very, very, very patriotic. But what I really like about it is that I think like the animatronics are actually pretty good for how old the show is. I love how things come up from the stage and they kind of interact with the screen behind them. I just think it's a really great stage show. It's super entertaining. I'm glad I finally got to see it after so long. Oh, and I got to catch the Voices of Liberty just for a few minutes, but man, are they incredible. Oh, I could probably sit there and listen to them all day. Like, their voices are just, they're so beautiful, and like they all work so well together. If you have a chance, or you're just looking for something to do, like to get out of the heat, get out of the rain, go into the American Pavilion. I think the Voices of Liberty, I think they perform maybe like every half hour, every hour, I'm not sure, but I think they perform like before in between all of the Great American Adventure shows. So it's a really great thing to do, to waste some time or to cool off or to sit down for a little bit, and it's really entertaining. It was a lot of fun. I'm gonna head to bed now. I am setting my alarm very, very early tomorrow. I got to have a really nice lie-in today. I did not set an alarm. I stayed in bed for a little bit. I took my sweet time getting ready. I don't have that luxury tomorrow. I need to be at Animal Kingdom, I think by 8:45, because I have a really fun tour booked and I can't wait. I'll tell you guys more about that tomorrow. But in the meantime, I hope that you enjoyed today's video. If you did, I'd love for you to hit that subscribe button to come along for more adventures. And as always, magic's out there, friends.